we're going to be heading out. You'll be on the fishing rods at the moment. They'll move afterwards. We're going to go out and do some fishing. So, going to be looking for pollack, hopefully, maybe bass. There's a bit of bird action in the bay, so you might try in the bay first. We'll see. But I'll get back to you in a minute when we're up and running. Right, so we've arrived. Just going to try a surface lurper now. And then we might try for some pollack and mackerel and that sort of thing in a minute. You notice I'm wearing gloves. It was freezing this morning. There was ice everywhere. Right, we'll try the bottom lures. See if we can pick up a pollack or something. Just going to use some homemade lures, just little pipe lures. I need to make some more of these actually. These are made last year, all the ones I've got left over, but need to stock up for the coming year. This is near one of the marks, so. Try it. Well, looks like fish is off the menu. I mean, there's not anything showing on the sounder at all either. It's completely dead. We're going to do the pots now. I was going to grease this as well, I haven't done it yet. I'll try and do it on the way in. Not a lot out here. Small brown crab. Will we bother with him? No, because he's probably too small. And another little one. That's it. No. This one. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Got a nice sized lobster there. That'll be well oversized. another one here. And that'll be oversized, I think, as well. I'll have to check it, but put that one on the floor and we'll check it in a minute. And just a spider crab. Which go back. Right. Now, I'm going to get these baited up well because there's not so good weather coming. Right, well, I greased the wheel on the winch. I just did that before. The top one I'm going to need to get another spanner, bit that, or a socket. But this should be much better. Isn't that better? It's a lot better. Got rid of that squeak. Bloody pipe. Why is it suddenly doing this then? Twice it's done today. I think I am going to have to put a screw in that pipe in. Maybe I can screw it to the cleat, we'll see. Right, just small crab. Just little spider crabs. A little one. Small brown. And a little spider. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pots closer in to avoid the storm that's coming. it's big-ish, but we won't keep that one. That's not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. That's a good one. Keep hold of that one. Go back, and of course that one, little babby, future one. Go back. And then we've got two more in here, which are probably okay. Look. Oh, I don't know, a little bit small maybe. It would be legal, but we'll let it go. This one. Get him out there. Got caught on the net. That one. I mean, it's not bad, but no, we'll let it go. Like I say, I'm not going to be out for a few days anyway because there's bad weather coming, so we'll leave those for now. That one's over easily. And this one. I mean, that one's right on the limit. I think I'll let that one go. Somebody else can have it. Right, let's go in. I'm down at the boat again. It's a lovely morning, but I'm not going to bother fishing today because there's not much out there really as far as fish goes. A few lobsters and crabs, but we've got this storm coming. They reckon 60-mile-an-hour winds, so I want to just check all the ropes. I'm going to put the bobber on the front of the boat onto the rope so it takes the shock from the rope. It used to be always on the boat, but as you can see, the way the shape of this front of this boat, it's not like the pilot where you could put this inside. You'd have to lift the cover off and all sorts. So best thing, take that off and put it down here where the two ropes come to the chain and the main mooring. Right, there we go. Now I'll put the bobber down here. This will take the weight of the chain and the rope and stop the boat pulling. It'll take the shock out the rope, basically, we hope. And it's also the fact that that big bobber is, there's no room for it on this boat now, so what I've done is I've tied a smaller one to the back of the rope so that obviously I can pick it up when I come in, so it's got like a double bobber. But that should do the trick. Like I say, I'm just getting it set up because we do have apparently 60-mile-an-hour winds now coming, and hopefully this post, I'm not convinced with these posts yet. Anyway, I've tied a rope to the cleat that's been placed inside, and the tides are getting smaller, so that should help, because if those rocks don't cover there, that adds an extra bit of protection. Right, well, in the previous video you obviously saw the boats now in the water, and low pressure's moved in, so we've got, well, we're going to get storms. It's alright at the very minute, but this evening it's supposed to kick right off. It's a bit breezy out there at the moment, but that's always the way it goes, unfortunately. And then after that I believe there's another big storm coming in, so when we're going to get some fishing footage, it could be tricky. I've got a little bit of footage today, which is the trip we did the other day after the initial ones that you saw. And right now I'm just fitting weights into these pots because I never got them finished because we went on to doing the boat, of course. These are the lobster kind of pot ones that I made with the small necks like that. I'm just strapping in the weights. Now what I tend to use is, I'll show you. If you remember in one of the videos in the winter, we cut up an old trailer a friend brought round, which was full of angle iron. So I'm using angle iron. Now the angle iron that's gone in there is, each piece weighs about 6 pounds, so you've got about 12 pounds of steel in the bottom of this pot. You've got to bear in mind, normally they're a bit heavier than my pots and that, but this is a smaller pot, so it's not going to have as much buoyancy on it, and obviously it's a smaller pot, so I'll probably put like this 8mm rope on it, so you haven't got so much drag, or I might tie it onto one of the big pots. I haven't decided yet on that really. Plus I can always add a little bit more weight on the end if I need it. And the idea with these necks as well is the necks go in, you think it might be tricky to empty them, but it's going to be very easy actually, because using some inner tube which will go over a screw which is already there I think on that end, so it locks it down, and this end's tied down so it stays like that. And what you do is you ping it off like that, and then you can just pull that out, put your arm in, and you just slot the necks back in, so they're removable. But we'll see, we'll be testing these this year and seeing how we get on them, so it's another experiment. We've got the bait bag in the middle, so the bait sits right in the middle of the pot, and you do it from the outside, so there's no getting your arm in, getting messed up and all that sort of thing. You just drop the bait in and you're good to go. And hopefully they'll work out after we tested that prawn one last year, which was very successful for lobster, although the prawns was very poor last year. In fact they were poor even just from the beach. I didn't see many at all, so maybe this year will be better, we'll see. So I've also been working on the tank while the weather's being bad. I'm refilling it with fresh water this year because for some reason the water vanished out last year. I think it might have been the pump, it might have been weeping out the pump somewhere over a period of time. It just emptied the tank, and hence why we've got a brand new pump on there, just to be sure. But the other one had been running for 5 or 6 years non-stop pretty much. So we got one lobster in there. He's in there, he's one we caught the other day, and he is kind of the test because the water drained out. You have to leave it for a while for the bacteria to form in the water to make everything work properly. So he's gone in, we're seeing if it's working out right. It's been a few days, obviously it's going to take longer, but by the time we get anything in there it will be a few weeks, and hopefully everything will be settled by then. But he'll tell me if there's anything wrong with the water. He'll start getting sort of erratic or sleepy. Usually sleepy, it's the prawns that get erratic when you put prawns in. Yeah, we're just checking to see everything's alright. Okay, and of course we're going to have a big tidy up in here as well, clean everything up, all ready for this year. Right, it's presently 5:30 in the morning. The storm has passed that we had last night. apparently in somewhere around the south of England, not exactly sure where, but apparently it had a gust up to 90 mile an hour. So we were getting, I did see earlier on, we were getting, it was around 50 to 60 mile an hour. But hopefully everything's alright, but that's what we're going to find out right now. And here we have some chickens in the road. And they do like to walk out in front of the cars. They don't care. They're just like, yeah, we'll stop the traffic. Yeah, I don't mind, as long as it's not every 200 feet. Right, we're almost on the coast again, and we're going to find out how rough it still is out there. I'm going to have to take a run along the coast as well to make sure that none of my gear has come up on the beach, because I don't know how bad it got, and my gear is fairly close to the shore, so it could catch the wash. Say the wash. Where it's shallower, it tends to drag things around, as opposed to being in deep water, they don't tend to move so much. Oh, it's rough. It is rough. What a great start to the season. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Although it's not, well, there's some pretty big waves further out, but it's not giant waves close in. That's a good thing. Right, well, we are going to head down there, so it may get a bit windy because it's still 25 mile an hour or something like that at the moment, and it's blowing straight in. Well, she's still there. See a bit of weed coming up already. Inflatable over there that's flipped over, but you can't do anything about them because you flip it back. Luckily, it's an inflatable, so it's not going to matter really, unless they had anything in it. Seems to have held out. Like I say, I'm not convinced by that yet. I'm used to having big heavy wooden Samson posts on the front of boats. Just check my ropes aren't rubbing on the boat, because this one isn't supposed to be really doing anything. It's this one. This is a backup one, but of course the roll is not big enough for these two ropes, whereas the old one, it would go on top. Right, let's see what the water's like. I don't think it rained that much, to be honest. No, there's barely any water in here at all. Well, there we are. She survived her first storm. Let's hope she's manages that alright. And like I say, my biggest concern is that Samson on the front, or the post on the front, because it's only like bolted through to a plate. Whereas, like I said, the boats I've had, there's always been a post that comes all the way down and is fibered into the boat, and then attached at the top as well, and they're very, very strong. Whereas that's just literally a metal post screwed in on the front, top front. So, but we'll see. Only time we'll be able to test it, and this was a good test, I suppose, because it's one of those things you never know what you're going to find when you come down in the morning after the storm, or waiting for a phone call from some other fisherman to tell you your boat's broken free or the poster's ripped out, or. But no, it's all good. It looks good. So just got to wait for the next storm now. Well, we've come down to the boat. We finally got a break in the weather, although it's not going to last, because tonight or later on today the wind's going to start getting up again and they give a lot of rain. So I'm going to use this window to shoot out, check the pots. I've got to be back within an hour though, because the tide is going down and I need to bring the boat back inside again, just so it's safe in the weather. And it is absolutely freezing this morning. It's put your hand in this water, it turns to stone. First pot. We're only going to be able to do 5 pots, if I can find them, because one set is out deeper and that set is going to be running in the tide still. And if I go out there, I'm going to be cutting it real close to try and get back. I don't want to cut it that close. I don't want the boat stuck out here or having to come back later today to try and bring it back in again. But you can see there's a bit of a roll out here. It means there's that low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. Now these have a lot of bait in, so let's hope they got a lot of lobster or crab in. Crabs, but not as many as I thought there might be. We put a lot of bait in, there's still bait left, but it's not very nice now. Of course, you're going to get caught on the trap when you're in a rush. Ew, nasty stuff. I think I'll leave that there. So, small spiders. That's not a bad one. I'll hold on to one or two for the moment. And a brown crab, but he's too small, and he's just changed his shell as well. Now we're talking. That's unusual. See that close in. That is unusual. Check that out. That's an absolute beauty, and in the bay. Now, does he have pin claws? I say does he have pin claws because sometimes if they're close in they can be escapees. But he's got a nice hard shell. Lovely. Nice big edible crab. It's got to be a 3-pound crab, I suppose. Lovely. Right, put him in the bucket, I think. Oh well, that was a lovely trip out. But like I say, it's very unusual to see them so close in. You used to, years ago, used to see them all the time, but that can go back. Right. Right, the first one done. Right, let's see if we've got anything in these 2 pots. And then we've got one single one which I think is over there. Hard to say. Well, they don't seem to have moved anyway since we had the storm, or the rough weather. Wow, there's not seen it in this. An empty pot after a week. Something ain't right there. Something's not right at all there. Let me check the position of these. Yeah, they're kind of where they were, but not right where they were. But the storm can move them. Unless that pot ended up upside down. You have to add a little bit of pipe on this winch, just so it kicks it out a little bit. Just rubbing the edge of the rubber seal on the boat. So, 2 completely empty pots after a week, crammed with bait. That's very suspicious. Like I say, they are roughly where they were put, but they're back a bit from a mark. This is a mark we did really well on last time we were out here when we had the spiders and that. something. This is what I was expecting in the other pots. Like I say, they've been out here a week. They've been stacked with bait, more than I'd normally use. Fresh bait as well, so you normally get a lot of spiders. Spoil it. Let's broke it up first. There we go. Right, let's see what we got. I mean, they're okay. I'll hold on to a couple. I'll sort them out on our way back. That's a shame, that's the biggest. It's only got one claw. Let that one go. And there's this one. So think about it. Sometimes you look at them and you think, oh, that's a big one. And then you look at it again, half an hour later, you think, eh, maybe not. Quickly check these crabs before we go in. You know what, I'm going to throw them back. I'm not going to bother with them. I mean, they're okay, but I'd like them a little bit bigger, so another day. So, it was an okay trip out. It's only a very short trip, like I say, but to come back with that, that's lovely. That you don't often see them in the bay these days. You used to get them like a little bit smaller than this, but you do get them. There's obviously larger ones, but it's been years since I've seen anything decent close in. Normally you have to go really deep for these. But no, lovely crab. That prime condition as well. Lovely clean shell, but nice and hard as well. Not you know, this has got a really hard shell like porcelain. Very powerful crabs as well. But very pleased with that. Like I say, just for a short trip out in the bay here, or just literally just offshore. So hopefully we'll see more of them in the future. So I said we'd weigh it if I remembered. So this is set to 0 with the bucket. Have a look. 3.5, so 3.5 pounds. Nice.